Get out of my room.
Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome back to the Rosario+Vampire V-Logs. And on this week's set of videos, or set of episodes, mind you, we're taking a look at 2 episodes this time around, and they both are sort of connected to one another. These, of course, being a 2-part series of episodes. I can't even remember the number. I think it's like, what are we at now? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at 6 and 7, I believe. And in this series of episodes, we actually go back to the human world. This is unlike the first season, where it took a little while to get back there, but we're kind of, you know, pretty much, I think, at the midway point of the season. So we're basically going back to the human world to just do some research on a field trip and everything. So we have the first episode, I believe, of this arc is, because I watched this like a week ago. It's a little bit less in my head a little bit, but I'm trying to keep up. Basically, we have Tskune and the girls all going to the human world to, I think, a Japanese festival of some kind. It kind of reminds me of the video game Inuyasha Curse of the Mask, which actually is a really good game. I only played it once, but I want to get a copy of it at some point, but that's a really kick-ass game. But basically, they're at this festival, and there's all of a sudden this sort of these weird Gestapo-looking guys that I think are monsters that are kind of keeping track. And, of course, also, one of the funniest things about this 2-parter is Coppola following Mocha to the human world, and very much like a Speedy Gonzales, like, super fast thing, and everybody, all the civilians are just like, what the fuck? Like, she's driving on the highway, she's driving past the trains, like, I literally think of that Robot Chicken skit.
Mommy, that boy out there is running faster than the train!
What did I tell you about being stupid? You don't get a birthday this year.
So basically, there's all that stuff going on in between the episodes, and she's just trying to keep up. So basically, these Gestapo-looking guys are actually part of, I believe, another organization of monsters that are sort of basically kind of keep rivals to Yokai Academy. And what happens is that they basically are going to say, hey, let's keep an eye on these monsters from Yokai. We could probably have some use for them. So we have Tskune and the entire group, I believe, staying at a resort of some kind. It's a really nice resort. It's one of those, like, Japanese bathhouses sort of in the mountains where it's like they use, like, the caverns of rock formations to create, like, tubs and everything, and the hot springs. That's what they are. Very common in Japan. I've never experienced a hot spring, but god damn it, I want to. But basically, they're all there. And, of course, hijinks ensue, a lot of sexual tensions between Tskune and the girls, and then it eventually leads to Mocha wanting to spend more time with Tskune. I think this is one of those 2-parters that I really liked, is it gives more Mocha an arc and a character for her, and they develop their relationship. So Mocha's trying to get some time with Tskune, and she can never get the words out to get some time for him. And they eventually find some time, but then Tskune is captured by these Gestapo guys, and obviously Mocha and the group have to save her. Now what's really funny is that they all have to pretty much dress in these sort of Matrix sort of cosplay thing. Like, they kind of bring up cosplay and anime in the scenario, so it's basically an anime of an anime, which is really weird. So basically, they go in, and Inner Mocha's let out and kicks their ass. The day is saved. So it was a fun episode, I will say that. And the monster designs for this sort of club thing, this rival to Yokai, are pretty cool. So, and then eventually at the end, they see Mocha and, you know, worship her as sort of their new mascot or god. But beforehand, they actually got Coppola to be them. And then Coppola was like, really, guys? This is what you used me for? Okay, fuck you, I'm out. So it kind of ends sort of in, like, just sort of it's a simple filler kind of episode, but it does add a bit more of the world building regarding how many monsters are out there in this expanded universe, essentially. Yes, the Rosario+Vampire expanded universe, coming soon. So then we move on to the next episode, which I like this one a lot more. This one essentially has it where the group has a few extra days in the human world. So Tsukune's like, I'm gonna go see my mom. I haven't seen her in a while. So he shows up as sort of a little bit of a daily visit, and then, of course, the girls follow her. Now, before the episode starts, there is it kind of reminds me this whole segment of an episode of South Park where, like, the news media will cover something and the entire town would freak out. In this one, Tsukune's mom is watching the news saying, there's a report of a rise in cases of unprotected sex and pregnancies in young people. And it's like, oh no, make sure your kids aren't fucking, basically. It's one of those, like, sort of reefer madness propaganda pieces of news. But basically, Tskune comes home, and, you know, the mom's excited to see him. And also, his cousin, Kyoko, who I believe I failed to mention a lot in the show. She's just there. She doesn't really add much in terms of the story, but basically she's just sort of like a secondary character, sort of a sister to Tskune, but not really. He's her cousin. So the girls obviously show up at Tsukune's house, and it pretty much plays off like a sitcom of a TV series. Like an NBC, sort of a Friends, or a Seinfeld, or a, you know, sort of like that. And I really dug it for that. I mean, I used to watch Friends a lot as a kid with my family, but that kind of brought me back to that feel to it. But the comedy's great because the whole time it's like all the girls are jumping on Tskune and the mom is flipping out. She is fainting. She even says, oh my god, my little boy's a gigolo. It's really funny. The comedy is some of its best in this episode here. And it pretty much sustains every guy's greatest fear, is that if you have multiple girlfriends and your mom finds out, oh good lord. I mean, lucky you, but at the same time, it's like, oh god, what will the parents think? But in that sense, it works. But one of the things I really liked about this episode, I mean, obviously, again, comedy's fantastic. There's a scene in the bathroom that's absolutely hysterical, but then it leads to a fight out between Mizore and Kurumu and Yukari, and they're all fighting. It's sort of like an Avengers fight. It's like all the public citizens are like, what the fuck is going on over there? But at the same time, Mocha gets some time with Tsukune's mom, and what really makes this episode really special is that we see that Tsukune's mom obviously chooses Mocha out of the entire group, and Mocha has absolute respect for Tsukune's mother, and they have a really nice talk, and quite frankly, by the end of it, I actually felt a little teary-eyed. I'm like, this is really sweet. Like, this is really adorable that the mom is pretty much approving of Mocha as essentially potential future material for her son. And in a way, there's even a scene where I think the mom even tells Mocha, thank you for looking after my son, you know, because it is a rough world out there. And look, I kind of resonate with that myself. I know, you know, parents can be like that, where they want what's best for their kid, and they do want to make sure they're okay out there, but it's always good to have people outside your family help you out, your friends, or people you really care about that, you know, maybe there is a relationship, there is some chemistry there, but to have those as sort of your guardians pretty much past your parents or your family and everything, it is a wonderful message to send out, especially for people in relationships. So it's a really sweet moment. I really felt that, and by the end of it, everything's resolved, and the mom's just okay with her son doing that shit. So, cool, Mom, thank you. But in terms of this two-parter, I think I like this a little better than the Three Chicks trilogy that we talked about last week, because this one felt shorter, number one, and number two, there wasn't much padding, except for the first half, but the second half really made up for it. Like, there's some really good additional character development, and it allows us to see that Tskune has essentially chosen Mocha as his, you know, the one chick out of the group. Let's just put it like this. If Tsukune's a pimp, Mocha's the bottom bitch, meaning the one that is the head of all the other chicks. So, thinking in that regard, I know it's a little bit distasteful and a little bit like, what the fuck, but at the same time, it kind of gets the point across. If Tsukune's like a male in a pride of lions, Mocha is the alpha female. She is the one that she's the Sarabi. She's the Sarabi to Tsukune's Mufasa, and in that sense it works. So this episode, I really like this one. I didn't like the first half as much, but the second half made up for it. So this is a good, I want to say 8 out of 10. Very brilliant set of episodes, especially the second half. Whoever was on the writing staff for that one, kudos to you. So, and again, animation, about the same. But, I mean, we talked about it the first 2 episodes. So, that's it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on this two-parter in the comments section below. And obviously, we're going to keep these up, and if you guys want to support the channel, link down below to our Patreon. Just $1 more will get you access to all of our content, as well as other special features. We also got Mummy Month going on right now, so tune in every Friday throughout October for an episode of Mummy Month. We actually just finished up the last episode, so all the episodes are available on our Patreon early if you want to see them before they're released publicly on YouTube. So, until the next video, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off saying, if you're a parent and your son has a bunch of girls, kind of respect him for that, and make sure he has his Sarabi, essentially, because, you know, it's good to have those sort of guardian angels at your back. So, until next time, that's all I got, and I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.